It's another episode of the States Up podcast. I'm your host, Brant Freeman. Always enjoy telling the stories of the student athletes here at Texas State. And our first student athlete guest of the soccer season is goalkeeper Caitlyn Draper, a sophomore out of Hutto, Texas, a former Hutto Hippo, one of the fun names in Texas high school mascots. So far, Caitlyn this season has a record of 3-1-1 in goal, 27 saves, only 3 goals allowed, and had 11 save efforts a week ago against Oklahoma State, pitching a shutout in that tie against the Cowgirls in Stillwater. A couple of shutouts for her this season. She joins us now, the States Up podcast. Caitlyn, how are you?
I'm great. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you on, Caitlyn. Thank you again for being here, this week. And let's start, with your season so far. As I said, you've started 5 matches. You got 3 wins and a tie to your record so far. So this is year 2 for you at Texas State. How do you feel things have gone?
I think it's gone pretty well. Feel pretty confident going into the season. Conference starts next week, and I feel like the team has just done well so far. I feel good.
Look at your career as a whole. It's still very early. As I said, you're only a sophomore, but you've already picked up 9 wins. You got 6 a year ago as a freshman. You're already into the school records in the top 10 in wins, tied for 10th most with those 9 victories. Of the wins you've piled up, which has been most memorable for you?
It would have to be the Houston game preseason freshman year, because that's the first time I had reached like double digits on saves. I think I had like 11 saves, and then we had a shutout, and we were just not expected to win that game at all. The environment was very, very tense, but it was so fun, and I think it really just started my career. But yeah.
Was there a similar feel to the Oklahoma State match? I know you guys didn't win, but you got a tie and you had the same amount of saves and a shutout. Was there a similar feel to that?
Yeah, it kind of felt like deja vu, because it was just like the same number of saves. Like, we were not expected to win. I mean, they're a ranked team, so it was just like underdogs coming into that, and they even had like a band and everything there. So it was just a cool environment, and then just, yeah.
Speaking of environments, you mentioned the band was there. I think about the home environments that you've had a chance to play in front of at the Bobcat Soccer Complex. Boco's Army is out there. The goal smoke's flowing anytime the team scores. They get loud. What have the home environments been like for you?
I mean, it's just amazing just to have that kind of support, because, I mean, you could see definitely last season, like, we were way more successful at home, and I think they played a big role into it. And I know, like, just hearing them chanting for us just really helps build like the team's confidence, mine especially. So, I mean, it's just great to have them there.
I don't know how much you're following stats on yourself, but if you're not, I'll fill you in. You're approaching 100 career saves now. You're up to 93, 66 a year ago as a freshman, 27 so far as a sophomore, 5 matches in. I asked you what was the most memorable win. You mentioned Houston. That's a lot of saves to pick from 93 of them, but is there a memorable save that you've had so far at Texas State?
I mean, I don't want to be repetitive, but I had in Houston, there was a double save that I had where I had tipped across and it had gone across the goal and someone went to volley it in, and it was just like a reaction second save. And I know it's from the same game that I already talked about, but that's got to be one of my favorites so far.
I know you'll agree with this assessment that a keeper is only as good as the back line can play,
Yes.
And Lucy Hart, Kinley Bradley, Anna Dunch have been iron women back there on that back line. Talk about your teammates a little bit.
I mean, they're just so experienced, and they're so supportive. And I just know that, if I'm having a bad game, I know they'll have my back. And if they're having a bad game, I'll have their back, which they never have a bad game. They just all play so amazingly. And it's just they're so consistent all the time. And it's just yeah, I have all these stats, but it's because of them. If the other team gets a shot off, it's never an easy shot. It's my defenders forcing them to hopefully just put a shot right to me. So it's just they're just so amazing.
Speaking of teammates, how much do you and the other Caitlyn Chrisman, push each other? She's the other keeper on this team. She started the opener, as I know you've been trying to battle back from her shoulder injury. She's had 2 starts this season. She's had some great numbers of her own. How much the two of you push each other?
We push each other a lot, but what I love about it is that it's like competitive, but there's still a friendship there. Like I think I'm really close with her compared to some of my other like teammates. Like I'm close with all my teammates, but we spend so much time together, and I think it's so good to have such like a healthy environment where we're pushing each other to be better, but we can also sit back and like applaud each other's achievements. Like her game against Rice was incredible. She had so many great saves, especially off of crosses, and it's just like seeing each other succeed and then like being able to be there for each other while still pushing each other. I mean, it's just great.
I'm willing to bet the experience for you last year as a freshman is surreal to get that type of playing time, to play the way that you did. Just to simply be on the field as a freshman is an accomplishment in of itself. But you fast forward to the end of the year, I mentioned the stats, the 66 saves, the 6 wins. Those are impressive. But maybe a bigger accomplishment for you, your teammates voted you as the team's player of the year. To get that honor as a freshman, what did that mean to you?
I mean, it's definitely not something that I was expecting because I don't know, just being a freshman, I was like, there's no way. Like, I had a good season, but I mean, I'm a freshman, but just the whole time, like, everyone has just been so friendly. Like, even since I was a freshman, like, everyone was just so supportive. And I don't know, I always just try to talk to as like many people on the team as I can because I think it's just so fun to just get to know like everybody and just be close with them. So I feel like, I don't know, just like the relationships I was able to build with them just helped also like me winning that. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's just they've been so supportive.
Speaking of your freshman season, you wore 39. Now you're wearing 0. Why the number change?
Um, well, I didn't pick 39 by choice, and I was just like, I don't know how I feel about that. So I was like, 0 is more of a goalkeeper number.
I thought the same thing. I thought 39 was a little weird, not all that fitting, but 0 looks a lot better on you. Let me ask you this. When did you first start playing the game?
When I was 7 years old.
Wow. So was it just your parents trying to get you something to do? You were bored. Let's just go throw on a soccer field. Was it you asking them to play? Where did your, desire to play soccer come from?
I think it stemmed from my mom wanting me to get out of the house but it was my first sport that I had ever played, and I was just like, I love it. Like I don't want to change it, so it was just tried one thing and stuck to it. Loved it.
Were you always playing keeper at a young age, or when did you first start playing between the pipes?
No. So I was a center back, and then when I went to club, I was a forward, and then our goalkeeper had left and we didn't have another one, so we were like experimenting who would go in, and like they would make us go in, and I was like, I don't know guys, I kind of like it, like can I take your spot? And they'd be like, yeah, go in, I want to play on the field. And so then it just kind of switched. But my senior year of high school, I actually got to play on the field a little bit more, so I got to be a left forward for a season.
Yeah, I noticed that when looking back at your high school career at Hutto. So I have to ask, what was more satisfying for you, scoring a goal or getting a save?
Oh gosh. Probably. I mean, I guess it depends on the goal. I didn't really score that often, so it felt a little different.
So you mentioned others. Soccer was the first sport you played. Were there other sports you got involved with?
Yeah. So in middle school, I went on a little sports like phase, and I played volleyball. I was a setter, and then I played basketball, which I did not like, but I did it for 2 years. And then I did track, and I did like triple jump, long jump, and then the 100-meter dash.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of, growing up playing a lot of soccer since the age of 7, I have to imagine a lot of role models along the way. The women's game and popularity has grown immensely, over the past 15, 20 years. The U.S. women's national team is always great. Who were your role models growing up?
Oh, the big one was Hope Solo. I loved her so much. I had her book, everything. My best friend's mom would call me Hope Solo on the field, which was a big confidence boost. I don't think I was that good, especially as a kid, but I'll take it. But her, I know it's bittersweet now, but Alex Morgan, everybody's favorite, pink headband. But yeah, I was also a big fan of Ronaldo, which is kind of weird as a goalie, but I mean, it's everyone's favorite too. So I mean,
Now, speaking of the international stage, I believe I noticed that you had some experience in the Olympic development program in South Texas. What was your experience like with that?
um, so I did it for 2 seasons. The second season was cut short because of COVID, so it was kind of hard to like really talk about that one. But the first season, it was just a great new experience because I came from like a small club. Like I wasn't used to like everything that I would see at ODP, and it was just like building up. I think I made it to like the regional camp area, like area thing, and it was just so good to get like new perspective because you were with so many different coaches, you were getting so many different feedback, and you were seeing like different coaching styles. I think it was just so good, and it really helped me like build my performance.
Hmm. I also noticed that in high school you were a member of the Health Occupation Students of America. So, what is it that you're studying at Texas State? What is it that you would like to ultimately do?
So I'm studying. I want to be a nurse. So I'm in the pre-nursing program right now, and then I picked up a minor in sports psychology. So I never was really a kid where I like had like a dream job, but then when I joined that club in high school, I was like, I think I want to be a nurse. I want to do something with medicine. So yeah.
Mhm. So you referenced earlier your mom was the one that got you out of the house and playing soccer. Here you are now, all these years later. Tell me more about your family and the support that you have.
Well, it's kind of weird because I know some people talk about how their family's like really involved with sports and they're like really on them about like being successful and stuff. Neither of my parents ever played soccer. They had no idea what was going on. My mom did gymnastics and my dad did nothing. So it's just like they were just happy to be there. I don't know. They just love to come watch me play. They watch every home game. They'll watch ESPN on the away games. Sometimes they'll even rewatch the home games on ESPN. So it's just they're very supportive. But yeah.
Well, I hope they're enjoying the broadcast, by the way, because talking to the guy calling the games right now. Let me ask you this, get you away from the soccer field here for a moment. What do you like to do to unwind?
Oh gosh. Well, recently, me and a couple of my roommates have been really into pickleball. I know it's not really unwinding, but it's really fun. So, I mean, just clears your mind a little bit. Just have some fun.
Anything outside of sports, like whether that be, music, movies, any other non-sports hobbies that you have?
I really love reading. I don't know, like mystery thriller books. I find them so exciting and like little plot twists and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I would never know that would happen. So that's
Is there any good book you're reading right now?
no, because I've been reading all my textbooks, so I've been getting a little too stressed out. But there's this author, his name's like Riley Sager or something. He is I've read like 6 of his books. Very good.
Well, we've talked about everything from murder mystery books, to playing soccer since the age of 7, being a Hutto Hippo, and number changes, being named Player of the Year. A lot to cover here with Caitlyn Draper, the Bobcat sophomore keeper. Out to a great start here as a sophomore with a conference play right around the corner. Hey, Caitlyn, great getting a chance to know you a little bit more, and best of luck to you the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Got it. Well, that again, sophomore goalkeeper Caitlyn Draper. That's going to wrap up the States Up podcast this week, talking Texas State soccer. For Caitlyn, I'm Brian Freeman, as always, reminding you to keep those states up, and we'll see you next time.